O ye gates,
O ye gates,
and be ye lifted up,
and be ye lifted up,
ye everlasting doors,
ye everlasting door,
and the King of glory shall come in.
and the King of glory shall come in.
Who is the King of glory?
Who is the King of glory?
The Lord strong and mighty,
The Lord strong and mighty,
the Lord mighty in battle.
the Lord mighty in battle.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates,
Lift up your heads, O ye gates,
even lift them up,
even lift them up,
ye everlasting doors,
ye everlasting doors,
and the King of glory shall come in.
and the King of glory shall come in.
Who is this King of glory?
Who is this King of glory?
The Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts.
He is the King of glory.
He is the King of glory.
Selah.
Selah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, fam. How y'all doing? Happy
Shalom,
Sabbath.
happy Sabbath, brother.
Happy Feast of Dedication.
Happy feast of dedication, my brother.
Dedicated.
So, y'all looking good. Y'all looking good this Shabbat. What's good? How y'all week go? Hope everybody had a good week, man. We're bringing in this Feast of Dedication. Or Hanukkah, as some call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which the Hebrew word is kanuk, which simply means to dedicate.
Right.
All right, so when you hear us say Hanukkah, that's what we talking about. We not talking about what the Jewish do. We ain't talking about what they do for Hanukkah. They get together, they spin dreidels and all that. We ain't doing all that. What the Feast of Dedication about, we're going to get into today. And the actual title of the lesson is the Feast of Dedication and the Maccabean Revolt. And what it was about, y'all, it was about brothers who stood up, right, to fight against a Greek lifestyle or Greek ideology, Greek philosophy,
Right.
The Greek way of living, period. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's what this day about, and that's what we remembering. All right, we're not getting together to do no folly. We're not getting together to just, you know, play around. No, like, we finna learn about our forefathers. And if you got, you know what I'm saying, young children, especially sons, you know what I'm saying? I remember when I first came to the truth, this story inspired me, you know what I'm saying, to stand on the laws of the Most High no matter what when I first came into the truth and read it. So, you know, when we growing up as kids, we had favorite comic book characters, favorite superheroes, you know what I'm saying? But our forefathers, well, we don't realize our forefathers, y'all, are the real superheroes.
That's right.
Where they get the Marvel comics and all that, they get that from us.
That's right.
Right? When you go look at, when you read about the in the book of Jasher, when the sons of Jacob went and fought against the kings of Canaan, you look at some of the stuff they was doing, y'all, that's straight out of, that's where Marvel got this stuff from. Judah, the progenitor of the tribe of Judah, which was our forefather Judah, letting out a loud shriek to where his enemies would turn back and flee. As soon as he let out this loud scream, he didn't have to fight. You know what I'm saying? They jumping over walls that's tall as skyscrapers. You know what I'm saying? Then you look in the superhero books, they got them doing all this. They got that from us. We the real Superman. We got the real superheroes, right? And we've been called to remember our great forefathers. And we're gonna learn about a few on today. I'm gonna read a definition up out of this Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And the definition I'm gonna read is Hellenist. Hellenist. Hellenist.
Give me the page number.
The page number to this, if you got it, is 223. And it says Jews who made Greek their tongue and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. All right, so this history, important part of history that we're about to get into, can't be ignored because years upon years upon years, y'all, we see the results of it. You know what I'm saying? We see our people still calling themselves Greeks today. Q-Dogs, Zetas, Kappas. You see what I'm saying? It's just running on automatic now. It ain't back then. They was forcing it on us. Now we willingly choose to go to it, right? And the whole thing is wicked. It's a spirit behind it that's contrary to the spirit of the Almighty. All right, so when you look at it from that perspective, then you got to say, well, the Most High don't care what I'm doing it for now. He told you don't ever do it in the first place.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do something years later say, well, I ain't doing it for that.
Right.
Even though I know it started out like this, I ain't doing it. I told you don't dabble it in the first place.
Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing?
That's right. And me on a personal level, I knew it was something crazy about it. When I used to be in college trying to sleep and do homework in my room, Negroes come down the hallway barking. Oh, I'm like, man, what's wrong with that? At first, when I first got there, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, why they barking? Then the same night, I'm trying to study, you know what I'm saying, doing study, women coming down the hallway screeching. I'm like, man, what is all this? And they like, oh, you know, them the fraternities. And I'm like, oh, bro, I ain't even know they do that on the regular. They like, yeah. They walk around campus barking like dogs, like animalistic, like you're not an animal. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's get into this, though. Let's get into this. Let's go to John, the 10th chapter.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we know this is not ordained by the Most High, it's still something we keep in remembrance of our forefathers, because a lot of people try to shame you like, well, we don't do it unless it's in Leviticus 23. You know what I'm saying? You will hear that. Try to shame you or try to keep you from doing something that ain't wrong for doing it.
Or something that they don't do.
Or something that they don't do.
They'll do Memorial Day, remembering the veterans.
Yeah, you would
This
do
our Memorial Day.
You would do Thanksgiving. You would do all that.
And none of that in Leviticus.
But they'll do
Ain't none of that.
They'll tell you they don't do this because they're in Leviticus.
Right. So let's look at our Messiah, because he observed the day. Let's see what his spirit was on this day. And then go to this same spot in your Blue Letter app, because we finna pull the definition of dedication, see what it says about it in the concordance. We doing John chapter 10. We're gonna do let's do 17 through 22. John chapter 10, 17, verse 22. When you get it, go ahead.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
Pick it up at 17.
Oh, you said 17. Okay, I'm
17,
sorry. My
yeah,
bad.
you good.
My bad, bro. Therefore, doeth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. And no man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
All right, so Yahweh shall receive commandments. So if he received commandments from his Father, what is he gonna give us quite naturally? Commandments, right?
Come on, bro.
Go ahead.
19. There was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings, and many of them said he had the devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Others said, these are not the words of him that hath the devil. Can a devil open the eyes of the blind?
22.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
The feast of what?
Dedication.
And it was what?
And it was winter.
All right, so we in the right season, ain't we? It was the feast of dedication, and it was winter. Now let's get the definition of dedication, right? Let's see what it says. Out the concordance, we're using the Blue Letter app, or you can use eSword or my sword, it don't matter. Someone is mine pop up.
Yeah, mine kind of slow too.
Oh yeah, mine doing the same thing.
All right.
That's how she turn.
I got it.
You got it. Read that for me.
All right. It is G1456. It is in Kenia. Outline of biblical usage, dedication, consecration. In particular, the annual feast celebrated 8 days, beginning in the 25th of Chislev,
Right.
middle of our December.
Middle of our December. So yeah, we in the right season, right? This is the definition of dedication. Go ahead.
Instituted by Judas Maccabeus.
By the Most High.
By Judas Maccabeus.
So we understand this ain't ordained by the Most High, right? But like you say, we observe everything else. Negro celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Huh? You rush sombreros and drink liquor all day, be a drunkard all day. for Cinco de Mayo. Go ahead.
164 BC, in memory of the cleansing of the temple from the pollution of Antiochus Epiphanes.
That's what we're remembering. That's what we're remembering, right? And for any young man sitting up in here right now, man, this should light a fire. This story that we gonna get into today, this should light a fire up under you.
That's right.
Right? All right, let's get back to this. I said 17 through 22.
Mm-hmm.
Read 23 and 24.
All right.
Matter of fact, read down to 27.
All right. And Yeshua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Oh, so Yahweh went in the spirit of, oh, what you niggas doing here? This ain't in Leviticus 23.
Yeah.
Why is he even there? Now
Right.
he observing the day, because had them brothers not stood up against them Greeks and done what they done, he wouldn't even had the temple to stand in right here to even bang against the Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead.
24. Then came the Yahudim round about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Yeshua asked them, I told you, and you believe not.
Y'all see what he doing on the Feast of Dedication? He had banging against the Pharisees on this day, right? Right, go ahead.
The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me.
Yeah.
But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep.
Ooh.
As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice.
That's right.
And I know them, and they follow me.
That's right. That was it on that?
27.
27. All right, let's go look at some prophecy. Because when we read the definition, we read about a few things. We read about the temple, we read about Antiochus Epiphanes, and we read about it being rededicated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go look at some prophecy. Let's go to the book of Daniel. Go to the book of Daniel. It ain't a real long lesson. A few scriptures. Let's just show the history of this day and why we doing it. And then we're going to look at a few wars Judas Maccabees and his brothers was in. All right, Daniel the 8th chapter. Daniel chapter 8. Corey, what's good, Hebrew? I see them heathens got you held up today. They tried to hold me up this weekend too, Hebrew. Daniel chapter 8. Let's do 1 through 12, then we're going to skip. 1 through 12, then we're going to skip.
In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me Daniel, after that which it appeared unto me at the first.
Right.
And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at the Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river Ulai.
Yeah.
Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last.
So he had a dream, and he seen a ram with a deformity.
Yeah.
That's a deformity. One horn was bigger than the other one. Go ahead.
4. And I saw the ram pushing west and north and south,
right,
so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will and became great. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen.
All right, so the ram with 2 horns represents the Medo-Persian Empire.
That's right.
And then this other animal read about what you say, the goat, the he-goat.
Yes, sir.
Right? This represents the Grecian Empire. All right, go ahead.
6 again.
Yeah.
And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power.
Oh, and the 2 horns on the ram, the small horn, the Medes, the tall horn, the Persians. Go ahead.
7. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him.
Yeah, that's furious anger. Go ahead.
And he smote the ram and brake his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver him out of the ram out of his hand. I'm sorry.
All right, that was symbolic of the Grecians coming down to take down that empire that was before them,
That's
the
right.
Medes and the Persians. That happened in history. Whenever you want to prove the Bible to somebody, or they come to you questioning the Bible, just take them to the book of Daniel.
That's it.
It's undeniable history. Now, either Daniel lived after all this happened and wrote about it, or the Spirit of the Almighty was dealing with Daniel. It ain't nothing in between. It's either one of the two. And he definitely died before all this happened. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. For it came up 4 notable ones.
Yeah.
Towards the 4 winds of heaven.
How many came up?
4.
4. Go ahead.
And out of one of them came forth a little horn.
Came forth a what?
A little horn.
All right, so a little horn came up. Now this, y'all, this is in other lessons we'll show going into more detail on how, but this is a foreshadow of the Antichrist to come. Notice when you go read the prophecy about the Antichrist, it references him as a little horn as well. Right? And everything that he gonna do, Antiochus Epiphanes did.
That's right.
Stop the sacrifice.
That's right.
Stamp
the stars to the ground.
Stamp the stars to the ground, man. Everything, whatever.
Proclaim themselves God.
Proclaim themselves God. His name means God manifest. So he believed he was God manifest. Right? Go ahead. A
Verse
little
9,
horn. Yeah.
Which waxed exceeding great toward the south.
Towards the south.
Toward the east.
And
toward the pleasant land.
Do you see that? It said he waxed exceeding great, meaning his pride grew towards these regions of the earth. And then he looked towards the pleasant land, which is Jerusalem, and it waxed exceedingly great. We're gonna read that. Go ahead.
And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven.
Yeah.
And he cast down some of the host of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them.
I was talking about the Israelites.
That's right, bro.
So he made war with the Israelites, and he wore some of us out, didn't he?
So did, bro.
Didn't they say that what the Antichrist to come gonna do? Go ahead.
Yeah, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host.
Even to the what?
The prince of the host.
That's right. Go ahead.
And by him, the daily sacrifice was taken away.
Wow.
And the palace of his sanctuary was cast down.
What verse we at?
We at verse 12, brother.
Go ahead. Read that.
And host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of the transgression, and cast down the truth to the ground.
The truth is the law.
That's it,
right?
bro.
In Psalms 119, verse 142, he say thy law is true. So
Come on,
he cast the law to the ground. What else?
And it practiced and prospered.
Wow. And the wickedness was practiced and it worked. And it prospered, right? Same thing that's gonna happen when this Antichrist comes. It's gonna be practiced. He say he's gonna cause craft to prosper.
So did, bro.
Right, and then me and my rib and my sister, we was talking last night how when it talks about how the Antichrist gonna make this statue walk and talk and all that in Revelation. When that was written, it wasn't no type of technology on earth for that to happen. But now you look in 2019, all this artificial intelligence. They got robots out here that know how to shoot guns and army roll on the ground, get back up and do all this. I'm like, whoa.
Project Blue Beam.
It's coming. It's coming. And this was the foreshadow. Was that verse 12?
That was verse 12, brother.
Skip down to verse 15. Skip down to verse 15 through 22.
All right. And it came to pass when I, Daniel, had seen the vision and saw for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Uli, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So he came near where I stood. And when he came, I was afraid and I fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. At the time of the end shall be the vision. Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright. Yeah. And he said, behold, I will make thee to know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed, the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
Are the kings of who?
Media and Persia.
All right, go ahead.
And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
Ooh.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
And we all know who the first king of Grecia was Alexander the Great.
That's right.
They call him a Macedonian, but that's only by citizenship, because we can get into some scriptures that show Alexander the Great was actually an Edomite.
Right.
He was actually an Edomite. Then when you read Jasher chapter 90, like verses 1 through 8, I believe it is, it talk about how the sons of Kittim, which was a son of Japheth, was a son of Japheth. Then Zepho came and they became one people.
There you go, bro.
Right, and to this day. Then you read the editions of Esther, how it calls Haman. In one spot, they call him a Macedonian. Then in another spot, they call him an Agag guy,
which is Esau's grandson.
Esau's grandson, Agag, right? So then, when we read, we get ready to go into this. Matter of fact, I think that's next. Yep, First Maccabees. That's next. Let's go there.
You want to read that 22?
Yeah, read 22.
I did. I'm sorry, I did. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Go ahead.
Now, that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for you, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation,
right?
But none in his power.
Right, but none of them would have the same type of rulership that Alexander the Great had. But after he died, it said that 4 was going to come up after him. So let's go to First Maccabees. First Maccabees, and this is where most of the lesson gonna be coming out. I finally got mine taped too. My baby girl tore it up. Finally got it taped up. All right. First Maccabees chapter 1, we're gonna pick it up at verse 1. First Maccabees chapter 1, we're gonna pick it up at verse 1. And then we're gonna go to Second Maccabees, because it's not written in chronological order to get the precept to what we read in the First Maccabees. All right. First Maccabees chapter 1, pick it up at verse 1.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim.
Of who?
Chittim.
I want to know what he was doing in Chittim.
Go
ahead.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Y'all see how the First Maccabees picks right back up where Daniel was talking about this in Daniel the 8th chapter, right? So we read about the he-goat coming to destroy the ram with the deformity of the horns. Right here, we see it right here coming to pass. Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead first over Greece.
Right? So that's more Bible prophecy. And you can bag that up with all types of history.
Right.
All types of history. Hold the spot right there. Go to chapter 6. We're going to read one verse. Verse 1. Verse 1 and 2. I'm sorry. Verse 2. Just read verse 2, really.
Just read 2?
Yeah, just verse 2. That's
all. And First Maccabees?
Yeah. First Maccabees 6, verse 2.
All right. And that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there.
All right, we was just precepting just to show, just to back it up, but he was the first king over Greece. The Bible backs that up, history backs that up. All right, we back in First Maccabees 1. Go ahead, verse 2.
All right, and made many wars, won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
Right.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Go ahead.
So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then he died. Died.
That's why when you look in when he had the vision of the 4 terrible beasts in the 7th chapter, he said he seen a leopard, which represented the Greek Empire to have 4 wings. So when they say this beast didn't even touch the ground. Right. It was symbolic of Alexander the Great's reign happened so fast and so quick and was so strong, then it ended so quick. right? So the leper didn't even touch the ground, and then he died quick. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Now, like I said earlier, either Daniel lived after all this happened, then wrote about it in great detail, or he lived before this and the spirit of the Almighty was on him. And it's playing out. And he lived, y'all, 300 years before any of this even happened. He wrote that like 300 plus years before that even happened. Go ahead. Verse 10. Yeah. And there came out of them a wicked root. There go that small horn, that wicked root. Go ahead. Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Yeah. In those days, went there out of Israel wicked men. What kind of men? Wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant. Ooh. Let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You see that? Come on, y'all. Let's go over here with the heathens. Let's go be like them, y'all. We since we've been doing this Torah thing, the bills still short, the food still scarce, the cost still breaking down, but we was with them heathens. See, we had it was all money. Good. Yeah. You see? Go ahead. Verse 12. Yeah. So this device pleased them. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king. You see that some people had lost their shame so bad that they got bold enough, forget talking to his messengers. Let me go and ask the king personally. Can I pledge to be a cute dog? Bootleg. You see that? That's what they was doing. That's what they was doing, and that was forced on us then, and that's what our forefathers fought against. That's what they died to not bend to that. You know what I'm saying? And it burnt brothers up to see brothers willingly going up there being like a Greek. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Judas Maccabean walking around on one of these college campuses today. Imagine that. Heads would fall. Man, we go ahead. Who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Don't they have little charters in them yeah. So he gave them a license again, too. Give them a license. Then look, every year they have what they call a Hellenistic conference or something like that. Yeah, you give them a license. Yeah.
So you can do what we do.
Yeah, you just can't be with us. Yeah, we gotta give you permission to do that. Yeah. Same way with them Masons and them charters they got too. Yeah. Giving them license. The first I was telling my real the first Negro fraternity was actually the Boule. Look that up. Go ahead. 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. Yep, the gymnasiums. That's where we get it from. That's where we get it from. And but just to show you our greatness, we even outdo them in they stuff. Right. We even outdo them in they stuff. Go ahead. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. How you do that? When you go join yourself to a heathen. That's it, bro. You see, and this the history that a lot of brothers don't even touch on. You know what I'm saying? Then you get to the New Testament and think Paul is talking to Adam Sandler and Jackie Chan and Manute Bowl, and no, he's not. He's still talking to Israelites, right? This is important history that we need not to forget. That's right, brother. You see what I'm saying? Because this influence ran for so long to where even when you read the New Testament, you see it. Israelites calling themselves Grecians. You see that? Go ahead. Hold on. Since we in First Maccabees, the one I'm gonna start at verse 15 over again. Yeah. About y'all want to know where we at. Okay. All right. We in First Maccabees, sister, chapter 1. Yeah. I'm picking up at verse 15. Read that at the top, verse 15 at the top. Okay. Yeah. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen. I can't say it like Charles. And were sold to do mischief. You see that? They were sold to do mischief. The heathen. The heathen.
So and then look, a lot of people they say, how can an Israelite be a heathen? But a heathen can't be an Israelite. Well, the concept that we teach is in the scriptures, right there. It just said they made themselves what?
Uncircumcised, brother.
Uncircumcised in many more places. But the term of a heathen becoming an Israelite, bro, that's not in the scriptures. That's you just a heathen that believes in the scriptures.
That's it. To show you that, like when we did the lesson last week, when he told them, look here, if you got to offer your brother, it don't hear you, take two couple more and go for the congregation.
Yeah.
And if you don't hear the congregation, treat them like a heathen and a public.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Ooh,
good point.
Yeah. That's book. Yeah, that's right. What verse we at? 16?
We at 16, bro.
Go ahead.
Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion over two realms.
Then we see that he pressed westward, exceeding great versus southward, right? So now he looking at Egypt. So now he waxing exceeding great in one direction. Then eventually he gonna look over there to the pleasant land, and he gonna wax exceeding great towards us. Go ahead.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt or Mitzrayim with a great multitude, with chariots and with elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt.
Yeah.
But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death.
And when you read Daniel the 11th chapter, and that's one of the most detailed prophecies in scripture. A lot of this has to do with Daniel the 11th chapter. Go ahead.
Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel at Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Yeah.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary.
No, entered humbly.
Entered proudly into the sanctuary.
Entered with elevator music playing.
Nah, he was boastful with it, bro.
Yeah, he entered proudly. Entered proudly. Go ahead.
And took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light.
Snatched the menorah, clean out the table. Go ahead.
And all the vessels thereof. And the table of showbread. Man, that make me mad. And the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasure.
The hidden treasures. Go ahead.
Which he found. Only way he found it, one of them bootlickers told him where it was.
Yep.
24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proud.
Skip down to verse 29.
Verse
Skip
29.
down to verse 29. Go ahead.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right.
And spake peaceable words.
What kind of word?
Peaceable words unto them.
But
was all deceit.
Yeah, sure it was. Never trust your enemy. So Rock 12 and 10 tell you never trust your enemy.
That's right, brother.
Right? They tell you he gonna humble himself, but in his heart ain't nothing but deceit and trickery.
And it's the same thing, the prophecy of the abomination of desolation. He said he's gonna destroy many by peace.
By peace. How do we end up slaves in Egypt? By trickery. We trusted our enemies. We trusted them. And before you know it, they said, all right, y'all, we gonna help y'all build these cities here in Egypt. They was out there with us for a little bit.
They eased off.
Then they started easing back one by one. Then we looked up and one numbered us out there.
That's the nail, bro.
Go ahead.
Middle of 30.
Yeah.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
You see that? This type of people we are. We are generous people, especially down here in the South. You know, they call it the Southern hospitality. You know what I'm saying? You come in peace. Oh, yeah, it was good. Because we commanded to show you peace if you come in peace. You see that? Now, you think the Most High ain't going to hold these heathens accountable for that? You came to my people playing like you wanted peace, and then when they gave you credence, you attacked them. Don't think because I allowed that to happen that I'm not with this people.
Come on, bro.
You see that? Don't think because he allowed us to go through this as a nation that he not with us. Right? It's for our punishment. Mm-hmm. He punished us like this so we don't get carried away as a nation in wickedness. But he'll let the other nations, he'll let them stack it up. He won't even correct them. Nah, I want you to stack it up because when you finish, I'm going to completely destroy you.
That cover the nigga got to get full, no?
Yeah, it got to get full. See, he don't even deal with us how he deal with the other nations, even though our punishment seem like it's rough. And
it is little by little.
And really, it is mercy. Mm-hmm. He don't let us stack up sins like the heathen do.
Nah.
All praises for that.
All praises, brother.
Go ahead.
31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and the walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers and made it a stronghold for them. You see that? They took the city of David and built the wall around it. This Jerusalem.
This Jerusalem. They done burnt all the cities up. They done took all the women and children, made them slaves, then killed all the men, then sacked the temple, then defiled the temple. Go ahead.
34. And they put therein a sinful nation.
What kind of nation?
A sinful nation. Wicked men. And fortified themselves therein.
Go ahead.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers.
See that we couldn't even go into our own city, the land that we was given by the Most High. We was too scared to even go back in it because they were killing all of us. Right? And when I said this a foreshadow of Jacob's trouble, look, they had to flee.
Yep.
What Matthew 24 say? When you therefore see the abomination of desolation, flee to the mountains.
Yes, sir.
Right? So the same stuff is going on. You want to know how it's gonna be when that pop off? Look back at this. You will see it. Go ahead.
And became strange to those that were born in her.
That's right.
And her own children left her.
That's a whole nother lesson. Stranger to the land we were given, but go ahead.
Her sanctuary was laid waste, like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning.
See that? When Passover came up, when nobody happy. When tabernacles came, when nobody rejoicing. You see, we was under Greek power, Greek authority, and a heathen that was motivated by nobody but Satan. Understand that it's spiritual, because when you go read Revelation, and he couldn't make war with the woman that had the man-child. Right. What did it say? He turned and made war with the remnant of her seed, those that keep the commandments and had a testimony in the faith of Yeshua. So understand, this Antiochus was inspired by Satan himself. Go ahead.
Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt.
You see that? Her Sabbaths into reproach. Our people couldn't stand when the Shabbat was coming, because that's when they came in war with us, because they knew we wouldn't fight on the Shabbat. So they couldn't stand when that day came up. Go ahead.
Verse 40.
Yeah.
As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Oh, all should be one people, one world government, one world religion. You see that? All should be one people. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
You see that? Now we got a problem. If you an Israelite and you heard that, we got a serious problem. We got a serious problem. We got to leave all our divine sanctified laws, what set us apart in the eyes of the nation and in the eyes of the Most High. Leave that alone. Oh no!
What you gonna do when that jump off for real though? That's what you got to ask yourself. When that jump off for real, where your mindset gonna be? You gonna be worrying about the house and the car and your job, or your life, or you gonna follow Yeshua in the commandment? Where your mindset, because it's coming, where your mindset gonna be when they jump off?
Yeah, it's coming. And shortly after, right before that shooting out in New Jersey happened, who they said was 2 Israelites that did it. Come to find out, they ain't had nothing to do with it.
Right.
They was actors. The people that did it was actors.
Right.
And then, but that same day, Trump passed a law saying that you can't talk about anti-Semitism or something like that on any college campus.
Right.
Because his son-in-law is a Jewish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he
Yeah.
puts that agenda.
Yeah. So now they trying to make it seem like we hate all the fake Jews. That's what they trying to make it seem like, but it's all a setup to this right here. It's all a setup to this right here. What verses we at?
We at 43, brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
They consented, man. They willingly went. They was like, oh yeah, I like that Greek lifestyle. They can sleep with whoever they want. They can eat whatever they want. I like that.
And
do it that way.
Some of y'all, them same Israelites, gonna sell you up to those guys there. Because the book tell you they gonna deliver you up. And some of them same folk that you think was Shabbat Shalom in you, gonna be the one. Yeah, they don't let me know that at the hotel.
I already know it's coming.
It's coming now.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's
and
coming.
Then guess what? When them stormtroopers roll through this front lobby with them pistols in that body on them, we gonna see who real need.
Yeah.
We gonna see if you real need.
And to be honest, whether you an Israelite or not, did the people who really run this country believe, if you believe in the second coming of Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world knows Jesus Christ, you are a terrorist. You are a terrorist to them. All right, so it's coming. Go ahead.
Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
You see that? The strange laws of the land.
You can marry a man?
And people, you got a lot of Israelites that'll beat the drum on that. Follow the laws of the land. Look, follow the laws of the Most High. And for the most part, these heathens don't even be paying attention to you. They don't even be. I can't even tell you since I didn't start walking the straight and narrow with the Most High how many times I didn't got messed with by a police officer. But it seemed like it was happening every other month when I was out here doing what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I be thinking I let the gas get away from me a little bit. Be like, ooh, there go a police officer. Man, I drive past him, he in his phone. Then I see him pull somebody else over not too far behind me. Like, dang, I was just straight going 10 over in the speed zone and he didn't see me, but he caught them. All praise, better than me. Hallelujah. Enemies to be at peace. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir. What verses we at?
We at 45,
Go ahead.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
You see that? He wants you to get out here on Saturday and go shopping.
Yeah.
That was the law. Now get out here and do something that's going to defile the Shabbat. Whatever it is, just do it. That was the law. That was the law of the land then. Go ahead.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine flesh.
What?
And unclean beasts.
Man.
That was the trickery on the changing of the Sabbath day. So you would do it anyway, just when you didn't know it. That was part of the trickery of saying, oh, well, it's Sunday. So then, since we gathered on Sunday, so I can go out on Saturday what I want to do. That was part of the trickery of the devil right there. And then now you got pig meat on your grill. 48. 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised.
Oh, so now it's everybody's getting, not just the men. You see that? Everybody's getting hit. Not just the women, the children too. No, you better not. Don't circumcise them. For what? They want you to be just like an uncircumcised heathen.
That's it, bro.
Go ahead.
And make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Oh man, go ahead.
To the end.
To the what?
To the end.
Y'all know what that phrase means? Meaning they had a whole aim or purpose into
Come on, bro.
the whole purpose to the end so that you can forget the laws of the Most High.
Orchestrated plan.
That's how all our enemies know how to get us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just running on automatic today. You look at all throughout the scripture. Read the book of Judah. They were asking, they was conspiring. They were like, man, how can we get this great people to fall?
So did, brother.
He was like, get them to go against the laws that they created.
That's the only way to get you.
And it's on automatic now to where, look at how they do us today. Everything they put in front of our face is to keep us in the law-breaking mode, the rap music. You see what I'm saying? The TV shows we like to watch, the movies, even the cartoons now getting wicked. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
To the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Ooh, point blank. Go ahead.
In the self-same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers. That's your governors and Senate board. They make sure y'all do what they got to do. And appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
You gotta ask that brother right there. I guess he hit
that this yours what?
Yeah, hit that close. No, he did.
All right.
Yeah, he hit the close, but
yeah, yo, this thing popped up.
Oh yeah.
Verse 54. You want me to continue on the way? Okay, verse 54. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation.
They did what?
They set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
All right, and what there was a what you call it? What was the name of the guy? Jupiter. Right after they did that, where we used to come and bring our sacrifices and sacrifice, they set the abomination of desolation, which was an idol right on top of that, and renamed the temple of Jupiter. So it was an idol of Jupiter. Right, go ahead.
Upon the altar.
Yeah.
And they builded altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burned them with fire. And wheresoever was found with any book of the testament or any consent to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Woo! So all these books we got, the pseudos, man, look, they gonna be burning all that. They were like, hey, what's that book that Negro got over there? It look like a Bible. They see the little sticky note sticking at the top of these book, boy, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. They see you walking with a book with some highlights in it. They gonna be like, what you reading over there? What you gonna say? Oh, nothing, that was just some newspapers, bro. Or you gonna say, this the Bible, what's up? What you gonna say?
Right. That's right.
Huh? Where you at?
I'm at 58, brother.
Go ahead.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month.
Every month. You knew it was coming. They making their rounds every month to see who got some books of the law hid somewhere. They come knocking on door. Y'all was up in there reading when y'all heard that knock on the door. Y'all. Huh? You know what kind of knock? A knock that means trouble. Somebody that wants something. You know if it's a. You're like, oh baby, go see who that is.
That's a can I borrow some now?
Yeah. Boy, you hear something like this. You're like, oh.
That ain't not even cup of syrup.
Go ahead.
To as many as were found in the city.
Yeah.
Now, the 5 and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yah.
Ooh.
Verse 60, at which the time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had called their children to be circumcised.
See that? Them sisters were standing up strong for the truth, man. They wasn't studying them heathens. Like, I'm gonna circumcise my boy on the 8th day.
That's right, bro.
Hey, it is what it is. Go ahead.
Verse 62. Howbeit, no, I'm sorry. I gotta read verse 61. I'm sorry. And they hang the infants about the necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Now, I don't see how none of y'all can read this right here. I got to say this, bro.
No.
I don't know how anybody can read this first Maccabees and not feel some kind of way. And I don't know how you can read this first Maccabees and not feel you doing an indignation or a disservice to your ancestors by following the ways of the heathen. I don't see how you can do that. I take this real personal every time I read this. It get my dandruff up. Because these sisters, these babies, newborn, I got grandbabies.
Yeah.
They were taking these grandbabies and hanging them up.
Yeah.
Defenseless kids. Because they didn't want to do like they did.
Right.
They were taking these sisters that were obeying the law and murdering them because they were following the laws of Yah. I don't know how you can read this. And then when you start reading about Eleazar, wouldn't eat no pig meat, they killed that eldest brother. Then they took that mother and her 7 sons because they wouldn't eat no pig meat. I don't see how you can't feel some type of way. And when you go out and do stuff that's contrary to the law, how you don't let that prick your mind. Say, hey, man, my ancestors died for this right here.
And then you got preachers. You let your teachers keep you out this book so you don't know what's going on.
That's right, Hebrew. That's right.
So now you want your whole mission is to go out and call yourself teacher to all the Gentile nations. And you only want to go deal with your own brothers.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Sickening.
Come on, bro.
We ain't saying we hate the other nations. We just don't, according to this, we supposed to separate ourselves. They're supposed to come to us.
That's right.
We're
That's
not
right,
gonna
Hebrew. Well said. What?
It is what it is.
We supposed to go out our own.
That's right.
And them come find us.
Elder swinging swords this morning. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, man. Let's get it.
Verse 62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and
That's right.
confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean
See
thing.
where it started at? How you know it started right here. Now you got to make a decision up in your mind, no matter what these heathens do, even with death. I'm not doing what they say do. You see, when you're not scared of death, you always gonna win over this heathen, even if they kill you.
That's right.
Even if they kill you. Go ahead.
Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
All right.
Hallelujah.
All right, let's go to second. Let's get the precepts. 2 Maccabees chapter 6.
All right.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, 1 through 16. Then we go into 1 Maccabees chapter 2 after this.
You said 1 through what?
1 through 16.
All right. 2 Maccabees, the 6th chapter, verse 1. Not long after this, the king had sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of Yah, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus.
The who?
The temple of Jupiter Olympus.
Boy, these heathens. Boy, go ahead.
And that in Gazarim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers. Yeah, right. As they did desire that dwelt in the place.
Yeah.
The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentile.
What?
By the Gentile.
What else they were doing in the temple?
Who dallied with harlots.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? They sleeping with harlots in the temple, sleeping with prostitutes in our temple. Wow, go ahead.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place.
Having orgies in the priest chambers.
That's right, bro.
Gentiles, but this is the Greek culture. This is the Roman culture as well. And it all the way down here to America.
That's why you got those Catholic men and them little boys and girls.
Oh, yeah.
Boy love.
They call it the Greco-Roman Empire. Didn't much change.
Hey, in the so-called black church, they doing the same thing.
They doing the same stuff. They doing the same thing. Yep.
Middle of four. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or to profess himself to be a Yahudim.
Hey, you an Israelite? Israel who? No, man. I
Afro-American.
I just like the way them brothers reading the Bible over there. That's why you saw me over there. I wasn't really participating. I don't even know what a Hebrew is. What's the shalom? What that mean, brother?
Shaking, bro.
You see that? It wasn't even
Yeah.
lawful for you to keep, for us to be in here on it. If that was us back then, y'all, we would all get tried. They would try to kill us all for this. They would probably try to set this building on fire. Go ahead.
7. And in the day of the king's birth every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Yahudim were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying idols.
Y'all see, this heathen was so proud. He had a birthday every month. Every month this heathen had a birthday. This is how proud he was. Right? And then y'all know the heart symbol? The heart symbol that we was told is a heart, that's really a Bacchus leaf. Right? Look up Bacchus. The shape of that heathen's face, it was really an idol. But the shape of his face, it looked like that same symbol. And we've been told that's a heart symbol. Our heart look like a fist.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's really a Bacchus leaf. That's how a Bacchus leaf look.
That's right. You have to test it 7 times.
Yep. When you look up the history of the origins of Valentine, it'll tell you where the heart symbol came from. That it's a Bacchus leaf. Yeah. So this was, he had a birthday every month, right? And had the Jews compelled to go in possession to Bacchus carrying ivy, so to do a ritual, basically. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentile should be put to death.
See, manners, that's short for mannerisms.
Right.
Whoever didn't conform to the mannerisms, so you have to act like a Greek in every aspect, in worship, education, everything.
Talk. Hey, buddy.
Talking. Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing there, buddy?
Hey, yeah. Shalom. Hey, brother Rico. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they want you to act like a Greek. You know what I'm saying? But now we 2019, this thing running on automatic, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my ears when I walked on the college campus and heard Negroes barking like they was some animals. I'm like, what is all this? What y'all doing this for? I'm like, yeah, brand them and everything.
Like cat.
Then the women come down the hallway screeching. I'm like, man, what is? Go ahead.
In the 9. Then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly laid round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall. And the others they had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secret. Being discovered to Philip, were all burned together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
That's right. Go ahead.
Number 12.
All right.
Now I beseech those that read this book. I'm gonna read that real slow.
Yeah.
Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for their destruction, but for a chastening of our
You
nation.
see that? And the Most High love those who he chastens. Right? Think about that. He said, don't think that this happened for our destruction.
Right.
But this is just a chastening. This is why all this happened. Go ahead.
13. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
Yeah, see, this is the point I was making earlier. 14. Go ahead.
For not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbears to punish till they become to the fullness of their sin. So dealeth he with us.
See that? So dealeth he with us. He'll wait till the nations fill that cup up and completely destroy them. But when his people start going out, he tap them legs.
That's
hey,
right, brother.
Get back right. Get back right. When the nations do it, go on ahead. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep
15.
going. Keep going. Then he lay them flat. Lay them flat. He done wiped out whole nations. I'm talking about those people don't even exist no more.
Yeah,
that's what the Most High done did for us.
That's right, brother.
Go ahead.
Lest that being come to the height of sin afterwards, he should take vengeance of us.
Ooh.
And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punished with adversity.
With what?
With adversity.
You see that? The Most High punishes by putting us in what? Adverse conditions. Right? He chastens by putting us in conditions that ain't comfortable for us.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Yet does he never forsake his people.
He'll never forsake us. What verse is that? End of 16,
brother.
All right, let's go to First Maccabees chapter 2.
All right.
First Maccabees chapter 2. So when everything kicked off, this is how bad it was. Women was getting killed for circumcising the children. Little infants was being hanged by their neck. Women was thrown off cliffs. It was unlawful to pronounce you was a Israelite. They was burning the books of the law. You couldn't read the law. You couldn't keep the feast. Couldn't keep Shabbat. Right. So what if everybody in the whole nation just took the mindset of, well, man, let's just let the Lord handle it. We gonna pray. What if some brothers didn't stand up and was like, man, nah, the buck stop right now. Yeah. We ain't going out like this. You know what I'm saying? Which it don't make you soft to have the other mindset either, because you died for what was right still. You know what I'm saying? When we look at we was back in Egypt, the Red Sea was given when the Egyptians came after us. It said the Israelites was broke up into 4 divisions, right? Each tribe separated into groups that had different opinions. Some was like, they seen all the Egyptians and all the cheer. They were like, man, let's go cast ourselves into the sea, because we can't handle this. You know what I'm saying? Someone were like, man, let's go back and fight with these cats.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? And some were like, man, let's just go back and be their slaves. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the brothers had the like you say, the brothers had the mindset, man, like, bro, the buck stop here. We a die fighting for these laws and our people. Right? Let's read chapter 2. We're going to read chapter 2. Let's get it. Verse 1.
In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jeriel from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. He had 5 sons, Jehonan, called Cadius, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
Yeah, Maccabeus, that means hammer.
That's right, brother.
Yeah. See?
That's right, brother.
Hammer. So the brother name ain't even, like, he ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? They're my favorite character out the Bible right here, Judas Maccabeus. Go ahead.
Eleazar called Avaron.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, whose surname was Alphas.
Go ahead.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Her temple has become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation has not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil? All her ornaments are taken away, and a free woman, she has become a bond slave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste.
Yeah.
And the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Matthias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and his sons came together.
All right. So they had this sacrifice, right? And he and his son show up. Right now, let's see what this elder did. Go ahead.
Then answered the king's officers and said to Matthias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and the great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's command, like as all the heathen have done. Yea, the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem.
See, they gonna come at the head first, because they know if we can get If we can get the most influential person over the whole body to flip, he do all the work for us. Everybody else gonna flip.
Right.
Because they gonna look at, they like, man, look at that, bro. Look what he doing. He over there being a Greek. I think it's okay, y'all. Let's go over there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They knew who to come to first, right? Because that's why you got to be steadfast in this. Go ahead.
So shall thou and thy house be in number of the king's friends.
And then look how they using. They like, well, look, all the rest of the heathens doing it. Everybody doing it. That's how they get you. Everybody's doing it. Go ahead.
And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
With a soft voice.
With a loud voice.
With a whisper.
Loud voice, brother.
Go ahead.
Though all nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
That's right. Go ahead.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
Ooh.
We will not hearken to the king's word.
You see that? He wasn't timid with it. He wasn't like, now, I see what you're saying, but I just don't want to, do it right now. Now he like, man, look, we not doing that. Get out my face and tell your mama her breath stink. That's how he was.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? He wasn't playing with this heathen. But that's the attitude you got to have to even deal with a heathen like that. You can't be, okay, I guess I'll do it. No, we ain't doing that. Go ahead.
We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Yehudim in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, sell out, which was at Modim, according to the king's command.
You see that? Now, the elder just finished standing up. You see what I'm saying? Establishing order. Then here come a coon run up here.
Yeah. One of them Chicken Joe's Negro.
He come up there acting like a Greek. Let's see what the elder did to him.
24. Which thing, when Messiah saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Ooh. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
Slew him upon the altar. You want to act like a Greek, all right? All right. Real quick. And that was righteous judgment. That was righteous judgment. Go ahead.
25. Also the king's commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time. Ooh, and the altar was he pulled down.
He just bodied 2 cats and pulled the altar down. That sent the message right there.
Go tell that.
That sent the message right there. That one, we ain't here to play no games with y'all. We ain't here to play the funnies. We ain't here to play as Q-Dog. We ain't here to work out naked at your gyms. We not here to compete in your Olympics. None of that.
Oh, bathhouse.
We here strictly to keep the laws of the Most High. Now what? And we just killed one of y'all bootlickers and one of y'all king's messengers. Now what?
I'm going to tell that.
Go ahead.
26. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of Yah.
Yeah.
Like as Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salome.
That's Numbers 25. Go ahead.
Sir. And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying,
see that? He cried throughout the city. So after he just bodied 2 coons and a coon and a heathen, the first thing this elder do is go throughout the city shouting to the top of his lungs, basically saying, who on the Lord's side?
That's right.
Who want to keep the laws? He ain't go hide and run off and duck off nowhere. He went throughout the city shouting, who want to keep the laws? Huh? Go ahead.
Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaining the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city.
Wow.
Then many sought after justice, and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell therein, both they and their children, and their wives, and their cattle, because afflictions increased so upon them. Now when it was told the king's servant and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men had broken the king's commandment, were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness. They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they kept against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
On this day right here, they made war with them. Go ahead.
And they said unto them, let not which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Shabbat day.
That's right.
So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they laid heed, but said, let us die all in our innocency. Heaven and earth shall testify for us.
That's right.
That ye put us to death wrongfully. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people.
You see that the spirit went on everybody to stand up and fight. They like, man, look, we ain't done nothing wrong. We just gonna die in our innocency. Let these heathens kill us. We'll see you in the resurrection. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. It don't make you weak, don't make you soft. You stood on it. You stood on it, right? Go ahead.
39.
Yeah.
Now when Matthias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right so. And one of them said to another, if we do all as our brethren have done, and fight not with our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Shabbat day, we will fight against him.
Y'all heard that? We don't care if it's Shabbat. They come trying to fight, we fight. Same thing, same attitude we taking. Somebody come up in here, Dylan Root sneak up in here. Oh, it's a fight to the death.
Yeah.
It's a fight to the death on the Shabbat. Go ahead.
Neither we die all as our brethren that were murdered in the secret place. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all that were voluntarily devoted unto the law. Also they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath, but the rest fled into the heathen for succor. Then Matthias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars, and what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
Y'all see the real men, like they took a stand. You know what I'm saying? That's what these heathens really scared of to this day. They don't want to see Israelite men standing up, being men, standing up, policing the households, raising the daughters, raising the sons, treating their wives like they're supposed to be treated. Right? They want to see you. They want to see the men with lipstick on and dresses and skirts. And they want to see the women with dickies on and work boots and like they don't want to see real men standing up. That scares this heat. That scares the heat, especially when they can't scare you with death. Especially when they can't scare you with death. Go ahead.
They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles, and out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Matthias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction and wrath and the wrath of indignation.
That's right.
Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your father.
Hey, we living in them times. This might be our speech going out.
That's right, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Who's to say we gonna see the end? It may be our kids' generation that might see it. You know what I'm saying? And if I had to give my children some last advice, this would be it right here. Go ahead.
Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
That's right. Go ahead.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed to him for righteousness?
Yeah.
Joseph in the time of his distress, kept the commandment.
Did what?
Kept the commandment.
In the time of his distress.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
And was made Lord over Egypt.
Go ahead.
Phineas, our father, being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Yeshua, Joshua, for fulfilling the word, was made judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
Hey, for time's sake, let's skip down to 64.
64.
Yeah.
Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in
Show yourselves women.
Show yourselves men.
Show yourselves effeminate.
Men.
Men. Show yourselves men. Go ahead.
In the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
Right. Go ahead.
And behold, I know that your brother Simeon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus, the hammer, he has been mighty and strong, even from his youth up.
Right.
Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
That's right.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandment of the law.
Yeah.
So he blessed them and was gathered unto his fathers, and he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin, and all Israel made a great lamentation for him.
All right, so we're gonna do chapter 3, but we ain't gonna read the whole chapter. We're gonna read 1 through 24. We're gonna skip, and then we're gonna shoot to this pseudo real quick, and then get chapter 4. That's gonna be chapter 3, y'all, verse 1.
Then his son, oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm ready to read that. I'm sorry, you ready?
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and also did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles protecting the host with his sword. In his acts, he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
What? That's
And he-
a bad boy
Yes,
right
sir.
here. Go ahead.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people.
Ooh. Go ahead.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him,
Ooh-wee.
and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered. Because salvation prospered in his
You
hand.
see that when the wicked saw Judas coming, they like, oh, there go Judas. Let's roll. Let's get up out of here. Because they knew he was coming to wreck shop.
Wasn't no
This, is
playtime.
like, this brother wasn't playing, man. Go ahead.
He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever.
Yeah.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
Man, go ahead.
So the Lord with him one.
The Lord Most High was with him.
So
You know
he
what I'm
that
saying?
was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together, and a great host out of Samaria, to fight against Israel.
Go ahead.
Which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forward to meet him.
Oh, so Judas wasn't scared. He bought the issue to the devil. He bought it to his doorstep. He wasn't waiting for the war to come. Now we bringing it to your doorstep. He went out looking for the wicked to kill him. Like, this ain't happening. It's time to reform.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
And he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Judas took their spoil, and Apollonius swore, and also, and therewith he fought all his life long. Now when Saran, a prince of the army of Syria, heard that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom, and I will go and fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's command. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near going up to Beth Horon, Judas went forward to meet him with a small company.
That's the beautiful thing about a lot of these wars. When you read throughout the book of Maccabees, we was outnumbered in all of them.
That's
Outnumbered
right,
in all of them, right? But the Most High, it's through Him that we gonna push down our enemies. It ain't because of our strength.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
17.
Yeah.
Who, when he saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
That's right.
With the Yah of heaven, this is at all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
See that? He like, man, with the God of heaven, we can whoop that multitude like it's just one person standing over there. All praises. Go ahead.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
That's right.
But strength cometh from heaven. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and our children, and to spoil us.
That's right.
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
Hallelujah.
Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be not afraid of them. Now, as soon as he had left off speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them. And so Saron and his host were overthrown before him.
Man, as soon as he stopped talking, he went to work. Went to work. Soon as he set up, he over there at him. And if you a soldier and that's your leader, you can't do nothing but feed off that type of image. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you played any type of sports, when you seen a star player of the team make a play, you like, yeah, it's on now. I'm gonna give me a little three-point shot up in there or something.
That's right, bro.
You ain't hit a 3 all year. You come out the bench hitting 3. Go ahead.
And they pursued them from going down of Beth Horon unto the plain where there were slain about 800 men of them. And the residue fled into the land of the Philistines.
That's right. Go ahead. 25.
Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding great dread to fall upon the nations round about them.
That was the end of that verse?
Yes, sir.
Skip down to 38.
All right.
Skip down to 38. And pick it up at 38.
Then Lysias chose Ptolemy, the son of Dorynemes, whatever his name is, and Nicanor, and Gorgas, mighty men of the king's friend. And with them he sent 40,000 footmen and 7,000 horsemen to go into the land of Judah and to destroy it as the king commanded. So they went forward with all their power and came and pitched by Emmaus in the plain country. And the merchants of the countries, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves.
For what?
For slaves.
Okay, go ahead.
A power also of Syria and of the land of the Philistines joined themselves unto him. Now when Judas and his brethren saw the misery was multiplied, that their forces did encamp themselves in their borders, for they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them. They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary.
That's right. So where did this spirit come from thousands of years later when we see calamities happen to our people? That ain't got nothing to do with me. They'd be all right. You see that? They brother were like, we need to fight for our people, man. That's what real leaders do. You don't look at like it's just you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't look at it, or you don't look at it like it's just you and your little congregation. We a whole nation.
That's right, brother.
We ain't separated by camps in the eyes of the Most High. All our people, one body, one Messiah, one baptism. Go ahead. One spirit. Go ahead.
43. They said one to another, let us restore the decay. I already read that then. Now 45. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Mashpah over against Jerusalem. For Mashpah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
Yeah.
Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes.
Verse 48, read that.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen, how you do it, y'all? The heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
They sought to do what?
Paint the likeness of their image.
So now they whitewashing our all our literature. They whitewashing.
Yeah, pictures too.
That's why Paul was like that.
Yeah.
You look like Pauline.
So so right here, I'm about to read an excerpt out of the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha Volume 2. And this, if you have it, I'm on page 839. And this brother Aristobulus was an Israelite of the priest stock. Right? He mentioned in 2 Maccabees 1, verse 10.
Hold on, bro. Where you at? Page 89?
Page 839.
839.
Yeah. So what he about to go into, he was a Israelite living in Alexandria, right, with all the Hellenized Israelites and all that. So he grew up around a bunch of their culture. He knew about a bunch of their philosophers like Plato. Who heard of Pythagoras? You know what I'm saying? So he about to talk about them, and look what he about to say, which ties in with verse 48.
Does everybody know where Alexandria is or was? It's in Egypt. So just so keep that in mind. So this is during the time of the Greeks rule or Romans rule.
It was after, but
okay.
A lot of
Alexandria, y'all heard of the Library of Alexandria? Have everybody heard of it? That's one of the most famous libraries was. This where this cat was. So a lot of these books right here that you read that's written in the Greek was by Hebrews that were living in Alexandria. And it dealt with a lot of the books that was in that library. I just want to throw that little history in there too, so they kind of give them a little where they at. But go ahead, bro.
This is fragment 3, and it's called Greek Dependence on the Jewish Law. Right? It says that also Aristobulus, who lived before us and was of the Hebrew people, the peripatetic philosopher, agreed that the Greeks began from the philosophy of the Hebrew. So not only when they took us down and oppressed us, right, they painted all our images and then they stole from us, right? They took stuff from us and put it in their writings. You see what I'm saying? So let's read this. It says, from the books of Aristobulus dedicated to King Ptolemy, it is evident that Plato imitated our legislation and that he investigated thoroughly each of the elements in it. For it had been translated by others before, Demetrius Phalereus, before the conquest of Alexander and the Persians. The parts concerning the exodus of the Hebrews, our fellow countrymen out of Egypt, the fame of all things that happened to them, the conquest of the land, and the detailed account of the entire legislation were translated. So it is very clear that the philosopher mentioned above took many things from it. For he was very learned, as was Pythagoras, who transferred many of our doctrines and integrated them into his own system of beliefs. So you see, the Greeks stole from us. So everything that basically they got written down is a mixture of what they believe and what we teach right out the Bible. You see that? So not only was it an attack on our worship, it was an attack on all our literature, all our history, our culture, period. That's right, bro. So this what we remember. We not just here just to say, yeah, we kept the Feast of Dedication. Now we remembering the brothers that stood up to fight against all this, to keep our images from being painted. You see what I'm saying? To keep our temple up. It was weeds and all that growing up in the temple.
Right, bro. Bushes
and shrubs and all that. But let's get back to this Maccabees. Let's get back to this Maccabees.
Picking up the 49?
Yeah.
They brought also the priest's garment, and the first fruit, and the tithe, and the Nazarites they stirred up, who had accomplished their day. Then cried they with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, what shall we do with these? And whither shall we carry them away? For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profaned, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest. How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O Yah, be our help?
That's right. Go ahead.
Then sounded they with trumpets and cried with a loud voice. And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands and over hundreds and over 50s and over tens. But as for such as were building houses or had betrothed wives or were planting vineyards or were fearful, those he commanded that they should return every man to his own house according to the law.
Right, that's Deuteronomy chapter 20. Go read about it. Go ahead.
So the camp removed and pitched upon the south side of Emmaus. And Judas said, arm yourselves and be valiant men, and see that ye be in readiness against the morning, that ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary. For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary.
You see that? He like, it's better for us to die fighting for this than to sit around and watch it happen and do nothing. Right? So we don't, when this spiritual war will become physical to the point to where this will be happening. This type of stuff will be happening, y'all. It ain't just gonna be spiritual forever. And now these heathens gonna be coming at our doorstep trying to snatch our kids up. We know you just had a baby in there 8 days ago. Is he circumcised? Open up the door. Let us see. What you gonna do? You gonna let them just come in?
Yeah, they come in. They ain't gonna leave out the same.
Man, look here. I ain't even opening the door. I'm shooting through the door. Shoot through the door. Shoot through the door.
Y'all said to the people. Do something.
Hey.
Verse 60.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, as the will of Yah is in heaven, so let him do.
That's right. Yes. All right. So let me see where I want, because I want to get right into it on this chapter 4. Let me see. Let's go to chapter 4, y'all. And let's just pick it up at verse 35.
All right.
Verse 35.
Now when Messiah saw his army put to fight, and the manliness of Judas's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went to Antiochia, and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he was purposed to come again into Judea.
Right.
Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomfited. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned, and the gates burned up, and shrubs growing in the court.
You see that? Weeds, and y'all know how the them yards in the hood be looking. Patches of dirt, weeds growing up here, weeds growing up there. You know what I'm saying? That's how the temple was looking. That's how they had our temple looking. You know what I'm saying? Like a boarded up trap house or something. Go ahead.
As in a forge, or in one of the mountains, yea, the priest chambers pulled down. They rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads. And they fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortresses until they had cleansed the sanctuary. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law, who cleansed the sanctuary and bear out the defiled stones into an uncertain place. And when they had consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings which was profaned. They thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it.
That's right.
Wherefore they pulled it down and laid up stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them. Then they took the whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the form.
That's right, because you got to get rid of that them old rocks that had that old
That's
temple.
right.
Them heathens defiled it with pig blood that dripped all over
That's
it.
right, brother.
Yeah, human blood. They were killing people in the temple. You know, so you got to get rid of that. That's defiled. Go ahead.
And made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hallowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings and the incense and the table. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light into the temple, in the temple. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veil, and finished all the work which they had begun to make. Now, on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, and even in that was it dedicated with songs and cisterns and harps and cymbals.
That's right. So they kept this time was when they kept the feast, when they finally got the temple and now they rededicated, they singing songs, you know what I'm saying? Mirth, had a little wine. What we gonna be doing tomorrow, Most High willing, remembering what this is all about. Go ahead.
Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising Yah the Yah of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness and the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefronts of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people. For that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days from the 25th day of the month Caslu with mirth and gladness.
Mirth and gladness. All right, let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 10.
All right.
2 Maccabees chapter 10. 2 Maccabees chapter 10. And let's do verses 1 through 10.
All right.
2 Mac chapter 10. Then we got 2 more spots after this.
Now Maccabees and his company, the Lord guiding them, recovered the temple and the city.
All right, so we see it written, right? Even though people say, well, this ain't Leviticus 23, as if the Most High wasn't a part of none of this. You know what I'm saying? He was with them brothers the whole time, even though it ain't really Leviticus 23.
Right.
Ain't that something? Go ahead.
But the altars which the heathen had built in the open street, and also the chapels they pulled down.
Yeah.
And having cleansed the temple, they made another altar, and striking stones, they took fire out of them, and offered and sacrificed after 2 years, and set forth incense and lights and showbread. When that was done, they fell flat down and besought Yahweh that they might come no more into such troubles, but if they sin any more against him, that he himself would chasten them with mercy, and that they might not be delivered unto the blasphemous and barbarous nations. Now, upon the same day, the strangers profaned the temple. On that very same day, it was cleansed again.
Right, which was 2,300 days and evenings. And we would have kept reading in that Daniel, the 8th chapter.
Right.
He asked him, like, how long it's gonna be for the sanctuary be cleansed and all that, he was like 2,300 days.
Mhm.
And when you do the history, get the dates of when he first came in and defiled the temple to the day that it was cleansed and consecrated,
Mhm.
2,300 days. So, like I said earlier, either Daniel lived after all this happened and wrote about it in detail, or he lived before it and the spirit of the Almighty was up on him.
There you go, brother.
Either one. Go ahead.
Even the 5 and 20th day of the same month, which is Caslu.
Yeah.
And they kept eight days with gladness, as in the feast of the tabernacle, remembering not long afore they had held the feast of tabernacles when they wandered in the mountains and dens like beasts.
You see that we had to keep it in the caves. We had to keep the feast in the caves for 8 days. Imagine that. Imagine us trying to find some caves somewhere in Memphis. All right, y'all meet us up here in the mountains over there in Moscow, Tennessee. Bring the pans and the food. Make sure don't nobody see you now. Who bringing the chicken? Make sure you don't drop no chicken about the pan. You know what I'm saying? We had had to keep them in the cage. That's crazy right there, man. Go ahead.
7. Therefore they bear branches and fair bowls
Yeah.
and palms also, and sang psalms unto him that had given them good success in cleansing his place. They ordained also by a common statute and decree that every year those days should be kept of the whole nation of the Yahudim.
That's right.
And this was the end of Antiochus, called
yes,
Epiphany.
Oh, y'all know we gotta get into how this heathen died. Y'all know the Most High just ain't let him ice skate on up out of here without nothing happening, right? Y'all know that, right? Go ahead.
Now will we declare the acts of Antiochus of Peter.
All right, that was his son. That was it on that. Is it First Maccabees 6? I believe it is. Let's go to First Maccabees 6 real quick, y'all. First Mac 6. Oh yeah, this is it right here. First Maccabees 6. We're gonna pick it up at verse 1.
At the time, that time, King Antiochus traveling through the high countries heard say that Elymas in the country of Persia was a great city, was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold, breastplates, and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there.
Okay.
Wherefore he came and sought to take the city and to spoil it, but he was not able, because of the city having had warning thereof. Rose up against him in battle, so he fled and departed thence with great heaviness and returned to Babylon. Moreover, there came one who had brought him tidings into Persia, that the armies which went against the land of Judea were put to flight, and that Lysias, who went forward first with great power, was driven away by the Jews, and that they were made strong by the armor and power and stored spoils which they had gotten of the armies whom they had destroyed. 7. Also, that they had pulled down the abomination which he had set up upon the altar in Jerusalem, and that they had compassed about the sanctuary with high walls, and before the city of Bethshur. Now, when the king heard these words, he was astonished and sore moved, whereupon he laid down upon his bed and fell sick for grief. Because
go ahead, finish that out.
Because he had not befallen him as he looked for.
All right, now how does the scripture say the Antichrist to come is gonna die? It say he gonna be broken without hand.
That's right, brother.
Right? The Most High gonna destroy him with the fire of his mouth without human hand. He died the same way without human hand.
That's right, brother.
And when we read the precept, which is the 2nd Maccabees, the 9th chapter, boy, the way they describe how this heathen died, man, go ahead.
Verse 9.
It's beautiful to me. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And there he continued many days, for his grief was ever more and more,
Mm.
and he made account that he should die. Wherefore he called for all his friends and said unto him, the sleep is gone from mine eyes, and my heart faileth for very care.
Mm.
And I thought with myself, into what tribulation I am come, and how great a flood of misery is it, wherein now I am. For I am bountiful and beloved in my power.
Now, why do these heathens always want to get sentimental and
Yeah, when it's time for them to
when it's
cash
time
out.
for you to cash out? No, it's too late for all that.
Yeah.
It's too late for all that because you can't act like you love the Most High but hate his children.
No.
You want to stay cocky and everything.
Yeah. Him that's filthy, let him be filthy.
Yeah, keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Keep it. Thank you.
Don't change that.
That's right.
Now look now, look what he finna say.
Oh, wait, once you
Straight
get the second
Look at this guy right. Watch this joker, man. Now he trying to get all soft. Hey, don't get all soft for that. What you don't talk about what you done.
I can see the heathen sitting by the window.
Yeah.
Well, I can see it. Well, go ahead.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
But now I remember the evil that I did at Jerusalem. I bet you do. And that I took all the vessels of gold and silver that were therein, and sent to destroy the inhabitants of Judea without a cause.
You see that without a cause. See, that's the mindset of the heathen.
That's all you read, bro.
But that's the mindset of the heathen.
Violin, ain't no swan song that.
Hey,
Yeah. You want a little cheese with that wine? Yeah. You want a little cheese with that wine? You want everybody to feel sorry for him now.
That's the mindset of the heathen, furthering the affliction.
But you see it on slave show.
Yep.
When the slave master done beaten, raped, and killed, then when the slave master get ready to die, everybody partner, bye. Good riddance.
Y'all know Anton LaVey, the famous Satanist, the
Sure
dude that
did,
came
sure
up with
did.
the phrase "Do what thou wilt."
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all see how he left up out of here? The most wicked man that ever lived. He left up out of here begging and weeping.
Yeah. Come on.
He said,
yeah.
something's happening. That heathen had a bowel movement on himself and left up out of here.
Sure did.
Left up out of
All
here.
praise.
Good
All
riddance.
praise to the Most High.
Good riddance. He was the main Satanist. Like that's who all the Satanists they worship that man.
Yeah.
That shirt Jay-Z had,
Yeah.
"Do what thou wilt." That's who originated that phrase. Anton LaVey.
But and you know the Hotel California song, he was all in there.
Oh yeah.
Everybody love to sing that Eagles song, Hotel California. They made it about him.
Yep.
That was all about him.
That
That little house out there in California.
Heathen was shaking. Oh, something's happening. Yeah, I know it is.
Your bowels loose.
Yeah. Your soul finna go to the left.
Look here, they even had him on that album cover.
Yeah.
So
He's
did.
standing up there on the second level up there.
So
He said
did.
stand up on the second level,
Yup.
and everybody singing "Welcome to the Hotel." But he tell you once you
Uh-huh.
come in, you can't leave.
Yeah, look, man, that song
But
used
and they singing
that
the
song used to
word.
get me chill. Like that song creepy. It sound creepy. Even if you ain't even know what they were singing about, like I didn't. Man, that song is creepy. Go listen to it. Go listen. Anytime somebody say you can go somewhere and not come out, I don't want to deal with none of that.
Mm-mm.
What verses we
I'm
in?
at 13, brother.
All right, go ahead.
I perceive, therefore, that for this cause these troubles are come upon me. No kid.
Yeah.
And I behold, I perish through great grief in a strange land. Then called he for Philip, one of his friends, whom he made ruler over all his reign, and gave him the crown and his robe and his signet to the end that he should bring up his son Antiochus and nourish him up for the kingdom. For King Antiochus died there in the 149th year.
All right, 2 Maccabees chapter 9. Now let's get into detail what the Most High did to this boy. Let's see if it was a smooth transition to the other side for Antiochus Epiphanes. Let's see that he stepped in the name of love to the grave.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Most High listened to him when he cried, when he tried to get all sentimental at the end.
No.
Let's see. Let's see. You want to come up against my children? Yeah, you got a problem, bro. Second Maccabees chapter 9. Second Maccabees chapter 9. Let's see if he was step, side to side. Let's see if he was doing any of that on the way out. Verse 1.
About that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia.
Yeah.
For he had entered into the city of the Persepolis. What he has a name, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus being put to flight of the inhabitants returned with shame.
We couldn't read, of course, all the chapters of First Maccabees, but when you look, he owed another nation some money. So that's why he trying to go rob these temples and he trying to pay them off. Right, so everything started falling apart for Antiochus. Right, go ahead.
Now, when he came to Ecbatane,
yeah,
news was brought him that what had happened unto Nicanor, and Timotheus.
Oh, y'all want to read about Nicanor after this? Y'all got time for 2 more places? I'll praise it
then swelling with anger,
yeah,
he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Therefore commanded he his chariot man to drive without ceasing to dispatch the journey, the judgment of Yah now following him.
Oh, hold on. Read that part over again.
Therefore commanded he his chariot man to drive without ceasing and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of Yah now following him.
See that? The hit is on now. The hit from the heavens is on now. It get to a point to where the Most High will come out and touch you for playing. And he finna touch this Gentile right here. Go ahead.
For he has spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews.
See that? The city of God is about to be a graveyard. I'm about to make this place a graveyard.
Yep.
That's what he said.
Yep.
Right? All right. By your words, you should be justified, and by your words, you're going to be condemned. Go ahead.
But the Lord Almighty, Yahweh Zabaoth, the God of Israel, the power of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. For as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner part.
Nah, he messing with this heathen. Bad. Then we just say how Anton LaVey went up out of here. Why I want to know why he torment the wicked like that in they bowels
for humiliation. you can't keep your bowels.
They bowels loose.
So when you're on your deathbed, you stinking. Don't nobody want to be around you. Nobody want to touch you. That's why for humiliation.
Yep. You right. Yep. Go ahead. It's gonna talk about how stinky he was too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He want to humiliate this heat.
Yeah.
And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. Howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but he was still filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews.
See that didn't stop this heat. He's still proud. He's still, because the Most High got it in for you now. Once he decided to reach out and touch you, ain't no man finna stay his hand. You touched. You good as touched. Right? Go ahead.
And commanded to haste the journey, but it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently.
So his chariot, basically it's saying his chariot, after his bowels was affected, he kept on bragging. His chariot fell down the hill. You see, he not realizing all this is the judgment of the Most High. He think this is just happenstance. He think he just having a bad day. No, this the Most High. Go ahead.
So that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain. And thus he that a little aforethought, he might command the waves of the sea.
Now, do y'all see how proud he had got? He said right before his chariot fell, right? He thought that he could command the waves in the sea. So obey him. That's how proud he got. You see the Most High putting the fix on it like he did Pharaoh.
Yep.
Right? He using somebody who's already proud, already arrogant, and he just giving them over to that. Right? Go ahead.
So proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weighed the high mountains in a balance. Now cast on the ground and carried in a horse litter.
Dang.
Carried in a horse litter.
So now you done went from king of the world
Mm-hmm.
to being carried in the horse litter, can't even hold your bowels.
Mm-hmm.
You boo-booing every 3 seconds. Go ahead.
Can't you showing forth unto all the manifest power of Yah,
Yeah.
so that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man.
Woo.
And while he lived, so he got worms crawling out of him.
Oh, Lord.
Can't hold his bow, walking around in a horse little box.
Man, body bruised and broke all up. Most High messed this boy up. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear me? He messed this boy up. I can't deal with no bowel issues, man.
No.
Like stomach pain, that's pain I cannot deal with. So don't sneak off and think nobody see you eat no pork rinds, boy. The Most High gonna put that thing on them bowels, boy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's just gonna be my last bag right here.
Okay.
And while he lived in sorrow,
Ain't nobody gonna see
Yeah, they gonna be your last bag.
and while he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away.
Oh, so
Man.
the body, he's still boo-booing every 3 seconds. Probably every 2 seconds now.
Yeah.
Body all bruised up, right? You fell down in the chariot. They got to carry you in the horse litter. It's worms literally coming out your body.
Now flesh coming off the bone.
Now your flesh is rotting off your body.
So that's even more stink.
That's even more stink. Yeah,
He need to go throw him in the ground.
yeah,
Get it over with.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, get that over with. He done it.
He messed it. He did know. Hallelujah.
His flesh fell away. And
Yeah.
the filthiness of the smell was noisy to
Oh.
all his army.
Boy.
The whole army can smell this joke.
Between the boo-boo and the flesh.
Oh, we got to get rid of him.
Oh no, partner, you got to go.
Let's go Barry.
Yeah, let's go put him on in the dirt, bro.
Ooh,
That's all that's going to help this cat.
Roadkill.
Yeah,
Man.
worse than roll.
Man, roadkill, I can tolerate that, but boo-boo and rotten flesh,
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I can tolerate that.
Verse 10. And the man that thought it little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry his intolerable stink.
Go
I
ahead.
done left that joke on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Me. He therefore being plagued, he began to leave off his great.
Now look, now watch how it's really finna go into detail how sentimental he finna get.
Yeah.
But it's gonna straight up tell you the Most High didn't listen to none of it. That's over with. But look, he look what he finna say. Go ahead.
And he therefore being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of Yah. His pain increasingly
Every moment.
increasing
Woo.
every moment.
Woo.
And when he himself could not abide his own smell,
No.
he
What?
said,
I gotta put myself out the house. Go ahead.
yeah,
Don't kill him.
he said
He
these
probably
words.
smell worse than a dead body.
Yeah.
He probably at this point he probably smell worse than now. He boo-booing every 30 seconds. First it went to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Now it's every 30 seconds. Go ahead. I'm just making that part up.
He said these words. It is meet to be subject unto Yah,
Yeah.
and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were Yah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Go ahead.
This wicked person vowed also unto the Lord, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying thus, that the holy city, which is to the which he was going to haste to lay it even up with the ground and to make it a common burying place, he was set at liberty.
Lord, I was going up there to set it at liberty. No, he already know your thoughts.
That's
bro.
right, bro.
That's why you can't escape him. You can't escape his judgment because he had already looked at your thoughts. He ain't on the judgment day. He not gonna ask you. Now, why did you go sleep with that woman? He gonna ask you, why did you even think about sleeping with her?
Right, brother.
Just cast that down.
You see, you should have cast it down in your head, right? And that's what the spiritual part of dedication we're gonna get into on the 8th day is us fighting like hell to keep the spirit of Antiochus, which is the spirit of Satan, from defiling our temple.
Right, brother.
Right? We gotta fight like these brothers fought. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
15. And as touching the Jews, whom he had judged not worthy so much to be buried, but to be cast out with their children to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he could make them all equals to citizens of Athens.
Do y'all see that? So he's saying, instead of I wasn't gonna make Jerusalem a burial place, the ones I killed, I was just gonna let the fowls have them like I do the citizen of Athens.
No, don't lie now.
Look, that's still off. You still talking about killing his children. That's still off. Go ahead.
And the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would garnish with godly gifts and restore all the holy vessels with many more out of his own revenue to fray the charges belonging to the sacrifice.
Y'all see how hard he trying?
Nah, bro, we don't
But
want
it said the Most High would no more show him mercy. Man, when he closed his hand, it's closed. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then also he will become a Jew himself.
You see that? Well, I promise I'll start keeping the laws too. Oh no, partner, go ahead. He want to convert now.
And go through all the world that was inhabited and declare the power of Yah.
So now he want to go across the world.
He want to evangelize. He want to be an evangelist.
You know what I'm saying? He want to go door to door. Have you heard about Jehovah's return? Because if you're not,
verse 18.
go ahead.
For all this, his pains would not cease.
Y'all see that? The Most High is not playing. He did all that, and his pain didn't cease. Go ahead.
For the just judgment of Yah was come upon him. Therefore, despairing of his health, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwriting containing the form of supplication after this manner.
Listen to this, y'all.
Antiochus, king and governor to the good Jews.
And that this the same Antiochus. This the same Antiochus we read about in 1 Maccabean chapter 1 that were hanging the women, throwing them headlong out the
Killing the kid.
So now he like the Jews, my buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, that's basically what he's saying. That's basically what he's saying. Go ahead.
Antiochus, king and governor to the good Jews, his citizens, wishes much joy, health, and prosperity.
Look at this heathen boy. Go
And
ahead.
he and your children farewell, like he really cares. And your affairs be to your contentment.
Yeah.
I give very great thanks to Yah, having my hope in heaven. You can get that by me. As for me, I was weak, or else I would have remembered kindly to honor your honor and goodwill. Returning out of Persia and being taken with a grievous disease, I thought it necessary to care for the common safety of all.
Now you want to have this whole moment of clarity and sympathy and you know, just no, you through. That's right. You through, bro. You done. Go ahead.
Not distrusting my health, but having great hope to escape this sickness. But considering that even my father, at what time he led an army into the high countries, appointed a successor, to the end that if anything fell out contrary to expectation, or if any tidings were brought that were grievous, that they of the land, knowing to whom the state was left, might not be troubled. Again, considering how that the princes that are borderers and neighbors unto my kingdom wait for opportunities and expect what shall be the event, I have appointed my son Antiochus king, whom I have often committed and commended unto many of you, when I went up into the high provinces, to whom I have written as follows. Therefore, I pray and request you to remember the benefits that I have done unto you, generally and in special, that every man will still faithfully to me and my son.
Do y'all see the nerve of this Gentile right here? Now let's see if the Most High said, you know what? All right, brother, I got you. Come on then. Come on. You're going to be with me in my kingdom. Let's see what happens.
I forgot where I was.
27.
27.
Yeah.
For I am persuaded that the understanding of my mind will favorably and graciously yield to your desire. Thus the murderer and blasphemer, having suffered most grievously, as he entreated other men, so died a miserable death in a strange country.
You see that? He
in
died.
the mountains.
Miserable death. Go ahead.
And Philip, that was brought up with him, carried away his body, and who also, fearing the son Antiochus, went into Egypt to Ptolemy Philometor.
All right. So that was the end of Antiochus Epiphanes. Let's read about Nicanor real quick. Let's go to First Mac 7. First Mac 7. This was another proud he. And this was actually the defeat of Nicanor. It was actually a feast day. Well, not, I guess you can call it a feast day. It was earlier this month that we missed. We next year, most high willing, we observe it too. All right. Second Mac 7, verse 26. Pick it up at 26.
Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare dreadly hate unto Israel, with commandment to destroy the people.
He said that birth deadly hate unto Israel. So this Gentile couldn't stand us. Hate them niggas. That's how he felt. Yeah.
So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully with friendly words, saying, let there be no battle between me and you. I will come with a few men that I may see you in peace. He came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peaceably. Howbeit the enemies were prepared to take away Judas by violence.
So they was prepared to kidnap the head dog, Judas Maccabees. They came like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Just come with a few men. We just here to chop it up. But they was trying to snatch him up. Go ahead.
Which thing after it was known to Judas, to wit, that he came unto him with deceit, he was so afraid of him and would see his face no more. Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered, went out to fight against Judas beside whatever their name is. where I ain't even gonna try that one. Where there were slain of Nicanor's side about 5,000 men, and the rest fled into the city of David. And after this went Nicanor up to the Mount Zion, and there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests and certain of the elders of the people to salute him peaceably, to show him the burnt sacrifice that was offered for the king. But he mocked them and laughed at them and abused them shamefully, and spake proudly and sware in his wrath, saying, unless Judas and his host be now delivered unto my hands, if ever I come again in safety, I will burn up this house. And with that he went out in a great rage. Then the priest entered and stood before the altar and the temple, weeping and saying, thou, Yah, didst choose this house to be called by thy name, and to be a house of prayer and petition for thy people. Be avenged of this man and his host, and let them fall by the sword. Remember their blasphemies, and suffer them not to come to continue any longer. So Nicanor went out of Jerusalem and pitched his tents in Beth Horon, where an host out of Syria met him. But Judas pitched in Adasa with 3,000 men, and there he prayed, saying, O Yah, when they that were sent from the king of the Assyrians blasphemed, thine angel went out and smote 180 and 5,000 men.
Right, you can read about that, Isaiah the 35th chapter, when he came and killed. None of our soldiers fought. It was the angel of the Most High that came and smote all them Assyrians, right? And the king came proud and tunning the same way. The same way. Go ahead.
42.
Yeah.
Even so, destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that he has spoken blasphemously against the sanctuary.
That's right. And
judge thou him according to his wickedness.
You see that he's not praying. You see how he praying against his enemies? He's not praying for them. for them, Lord, just have mercy on Nicanor and Antiochus. Bless they son. No, he
Bro,
like
straighten it out
destroyed
about
them.
what enemies you supposed to be praying for. Just let
The
people know
enemies
that.
he talked about who the Messiah, the ones of your own house. He told you who your enemies are, the ones of your own household.
So he wasn't talking about praying for the enemies of another nation.
Nah.
So we need to straighten that. We need to get that straight.
Nah.
So I know everybody wants to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and all that mess, but I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't gonna work. Has it worked since you've been reading it?
Nah.
Did it work in 66?
It didn't work in Egypt.
It ain't gonna work.
Nah.
Now I got a problem with Brother Rico. Now me and him need to get together and straighten that out. The enemy of my own nation.
That's right. That's right.
But all that we all gonna sing hands and sing Kumbaya. Right. It ain't gonna never work.
It ain't gonna never work.
Because they don't never want you to be on the same plane with them.
That's right.
So you can forget that.
Yeah.
That's why back in the day when you brought a heathen home, it was a problem. It was a problem. So I just want to get that out there, bro, about that because a lot of our people, even among conscious Israelites, they got a problem when you start saying stuff about when you read scripts like this, bro.
Yeah, he said destroy this heathen.
That's right.
See, we don't need to be scared to get radical like that in our prayers. You will start seeing the Most High. You will start seeing how much the Most High really love his people. Heathen persecuting you on your job constantly. You ain't doing nothing to him. Most High, destroy this heathen and believe it. Next day you come to work, where so-and-so at? Oh, you know they sick. They got a cold or something? No, they got stage 3 cancer. What? I didn't seen it happen before, no lie. I didn't seen the Most High for real, bro.
Prostate.
Yeah.
I know when it happened on my job. That's what happened to me. He went out. It went way.
I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Prostate cancer.
But you're supposed to rejoice though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, you don't rejoice. You take comfort in the fact that the Most High that you can call upon the Lord Zabaoth, which means the Lord of the arm of the host.
Yeah.
Hey man, when he send them angels out, man, you done.
Yeah. And see, that's what our enemy's scared of. I ain't even gonna call out a specific race, right? But we know who our main oppressor is. That's what they scared of. You see what I'm saying? That we got a red line to the heavens, right? To where if we all obey as a nation tonight, they kingdom will fall tomorrow. So that's what they scared of. We start getting on our knees, bro, and start calling on the heavens every time something happen, and something happened to these folks. They won't mess with us no more. And notice when Antiochus was on his deathbed, he knew that all that came upon him because of what he did to God's people.
That's right.
He already knew that. He wasn't guessing. He wasn't, I wonder why is this happening. He like, I know all this that happened to me because of what I did to them. All your oppressors know what's coming. Right? They got a law on their books. Public Law 97-280 talks about, it says that the Bible is the word of God. Well, in this same Bible that y'all saying, y'all law is the word of God, y'all judgment is in here. So y'all done accepted the judgment too then.
That's it, brother.
But yet y'all still continue to hurt the children of the book. What sense do that make?
Mm-hmm.
So everything that America has coming to it, that this world period has coming to it, deserve it.
So deep.
Deserve it because you said this the word of God, but yet you treating his children like you treat them still.
Righteous judge.
Yeah, it's gonna be righteous judgment.
And that's why they scared of us now, because this great awakening, the Most High putting on his brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah.
Hey, they trying to stop. That's why they pulled this mess off. It's just like we were saying, hey, they create the scenario, the reason to do what they gonna do.
Yep.
Now they seeing that the brothers, they hate to see the men of Israel raised up. And then the sister fall. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand, so they got to do something about it.
Yep. Because you see the man being in his right position, that the Most High want him in, the woman as well, the children as well. So now they raising a whole another generation to be righteous, just like that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't continue to keep fighting against this. So what do? Let's keep them divided.
There you go,
Let's
bro.
keep them arguing. Let's keep the black man and the black woman divided. Let's keep them pointing fingers at each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the children heady and high-minded and disobedient with the rap music, with the TV shows. They still keeping you away from the laws of the Most High. Just not directly, like they was doing it here in the scripts. Now it's indirectly, and it's so on automatic.
It's subtle, ain't it?
Yeah.
So we know who the father that subtleness is.
Yeah.
now they trying to get into the Israelite, I say, movement to keep camps from dealing with each other now.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They got this,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? So they got the doctrine,
bro.
they play the doctrine deal, you know?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep, you're right.
So to keep us all together on one accord, we gotta go in there and bust that up somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man. That's why we as men, we gotta stand on it, bro. We can't wave on this thing. We can't be like our forefathers that was selling out, that was going to the king asking for permission. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be like the brothers who just chose to die on the Shabbat and still not go against our God, or be like Judas and his brothers. Either spirit you want to take on, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But don't be the one that's sold out. Right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 42. Even so, destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that he has spoken blasphemously against the sanctuary, and judge thou him according to his wickedness. So the 13th day of the month Adar, the host joined battle, but Nachor's host was discomfited, and he himself was first slain in the battle. Now when Nachor's host saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled. Then they pursued after them a day's journey from Adasa to Gazerah, sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets. Whereupon they came forth out of all towns of Judea round about and closed them in, so that they turning back upon them that pursued them were all slain with the sword, and not one of them was left. Afterwards, they took the spoils and the prey and smote off Nachor's head.
Hallelujah.
And his right hand, which he stretched out so proudly, and brought them away and hanged them up towards Jerusalem. For this cause the people rejoiced greatly, and they kept that day a great day of great gladness. Moreover, they ordained to keep yearly this day, being the 13th of Adar.
Right.
Thus the land of Judah was in rest a little while.
And the precept to it is 2 Maccabees 15 verses 1 through 36, y'all. That was the lesson.
All praises, brother.
Yeah, the precept to that was 2 Maccabees chapter 15, 1 through 36. But yeah, that's why we do dedication though. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We remembering how the Most High was with our brothers fighting against Greek oppression, Greek influence, all that.
All right. Got a little in-house business we're gonna take care of before we turn out. So we're gonna cut the feed. Want to thank all the people on
All right, let me get some shout outs.
all right.
Corey, what's good,
we'll
bro?
close out first. You right, brother. I'm sorry.
What's good? Tuvaya, Sharon Taylor. Mama, what's good? You up in here? LJ, what's good? Linda Ricks.
Tell LJ, come on up tomorrow, man. Stop playing.
Come on down to the feast tomorrow, LJ. What's good, bro?
You just down the road.
Don't stop playing. All right, that's about it. All about y'all on here.
All about y'all.
T, who was that? I just seen a night. There we go. T Bird. Shalom. All right, we about to sign off.
No, I'll tell you what, we're gonna close out first, then we'll take care of that when we close out.
All right.
But we'll be right about that. All right, y'all, we're gonna stand and face the room.
Rodney, what's good?
We're gonna close out. We're gonna go to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. You get that. All right, Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, verses 13 and 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yah shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty God.
All right, all right.
All right, fam, we about to sign out.
All right, we're gonna sign out.
All right, go on, slide through, LJ, if you can, bro. Shalom.